In today's video, I'm going to show you the exact levels I'm watching on the EURUSD as we go into FOMC, and I'll also show you a liquidity pocket that could become a factor over the coming days. We'll also take a look at the US dollar index, the DXY. Okay, so kicking things off here with the EURUSD daily time frame. And before we get into this, guys, I do want to say that we have FOMC coming up in just a few minutes, just after this video. So be really careful out there. This is not a video to say, hey, go trade this, right? It's a video to say, keep an eye on these areas over the coming days after FOMC. The last thing you want to do is enter a market ahead of FOMC, because even if you get the overall direction right, chances are we are going to see some liquidity grabs and the slippage becomes really untradeable, in my opinion. So just be careful out there ahead of FOMC. We also have non-farm payroll on Friday. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at these key levels here for the euro. And first of all, you can see that we do have the channel that we've talked about here. The market is breaking down from that today. But once again, we do have FOMC coming up, so you have to be really careful. Just because, like we saw back here, I mean, we saw a few wicks below this level as well, and we know what happened there, right? The market closed back above and went on to rally. So just be really careful. The market's also coming into this area right around 1.0522. So that's these recent lows through here. Okay, so you can see that is serving as support today. Odds are that we may get a run of this level here going into FOMC, post FOMC, with that volatility, maybe a liquidity grab down here first. But the one thing I want to talk to you guys about today is this area up here around 1.063. Now, I know the euro is breaking down today, but again, this could be temporary and will all depend on how FOMC plays out. But you've got to be a little bit careful, because yesterday's candle did produce a pretty significant sell-off, and we really haven't seen any retracement of this candle. So I've talked about this a lot before, but you can see here on this chart, especially in a sideways market like this, anytime you get a big red or green candle, odds are you get some type of retracement of that, at least a partial retracement, if not a full retracement. So you can see it back here, full retracement and then some. This red candle right back here, I was talking about this, in fact, that there was liquidity through here. Sure enough, we saw that, and even more. And the same thing here with this big green candle, right? The market completely erased that. Even this big red candle, this is what we were looking at here for the past few days. And this right here is why when the euro was trading down here, I was looking for a move back here toward 106.30. Okay, now, no guarantee that we do see something like this, right, from the euro, but I do think that with this big red candle, you got to be a little bit careful trying to short the market, especially like I said, because the euro is coming into some support here today. All right, so once again, this is not a case where you want to go buying this market. I'm not saying to go buy it, for a target up here in this area. We don't know if this is going to come into play again, but I do think that there is a decent amount of liquidity up here in this area. And furthermore, once again, FOMC coming up, NFP on Friday. Now, one thing that I do want to show you too here is the monthly chart, because we did have the month of October just wrap up. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying the content, be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon for notifications. And as I mentioned yesterday too, there's a little over 24 hours left, guys, on a discount on lifetime access to our VIP group. See the link at the top of this video. So if you join us, you're going to get an additional discount off of the normal discount, and that includes daily videos on 5 to 10 markets, exclusive chart setups, and also seeing my trades in real time. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this here, looking at the monthly chart for the euro. Now, obviously, the month of October was completely sideways, and it's kind of fitting that we saw the month close right here at the open. Okay, I mean, exactly spot on to the pip as far as the open and close here for the EURUSD. So this right here is an indecision candle, right? We really have no directional bias, at least no clues here after October's candle. But the one thing that I want to show you, though, is that it's very, very rare that you get a market opening a new month and trending in a certain direction without retracing in the opposite direction. Now, what I mean by that is this was the October open and close, right? This is obviously the November open. Well, notice all of this up here from the October upper wick, right? We've not seen a retrace up here in this area, and so far we're getting the move lower. Now, this could be a rare case where the market just continues to go lower in the month of November, but what you often see is, even if this is going to be the overall direction, right? What you often see is a move up here into this liquidity first before you get that rotation lower. Okay, so the fact that we do have high impact news coming up, and we've also yet to see any kind of movement into that upper wick from October, I really think that traders have to be careful trying to short the euro here. Obviously, just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. This may go untouched, but again, it would be very rare. I mean, you can see here that even in a trending market on the monthly chart, right, odds are you get some type of retracement. You do have the odd month like back here, okay, like this big green candle, right, back here, which was actually 1 year ago. Okay, we really didn't get any kind of retrace down here. But all in all, if you look here, I mean, the market closed here, opened the month here, we got a retracement. Same thing through here. You'll see it time and time again. And speaking of this green candle from November of last year too, this is why I put out a post months ago talking about the potential for the euro going back to parity, okay? And the reason for that, one reason for that, is this green candle back here, this monthly candle that was never retraced, okay? There is a ton of liquidity down here in this area. So longer term, I do think that that is where the euro is headed. This video is by no means saying that I am bullish on the euro, because I'm not. What I am saying though is, I think it's a little bit ill-advised to be shorting the euro down here, right? Because we want to short high and also away from areas like this up here ahead of high impact news, okay? So liquidity up here right now, support down here for the euro. I do think eventually we're headed lower, back here toward this low around 1.0448, and also this area that I talked about at length here on the weekly time frame. All right, so if we go over here, you can see that this area down here around 1.0355, this is a very significant pivot on the weekly for the euro. Okay, so I think eventually we are likely to see the euro trend down here even lower toward this area, but obviously it's not going to happen in a straight line. All right, now let's switch over here to the DXY just to kind of wrap up. And this is one thing too that I've talked about at length recently, is that these green candles and red candles, these big green candles like this that you get, often leave behind significant liquidity. And if you guys will remember in recent videos, this is what I was talking about, right? Big green candle back here, very shallow retracement on the very next day. And we got the retrace right here into liquidity. So this is what we were waiting for the dollar. And you can see a very aggressive rally since then. But likewise, though, you have to be careful once again, because look at yesterday's candle, right? Big green candle. We've had a very shallow retrace ahead of high impact news. Okay, so yes, the dollar could head higher, but as long as it's below these highs over here, I'm going to suspect that there's a decent chance that even if we see higher here from the dollar, that there is a chance that we get some type of pullback and a wick down here into this candle, right? To grab that liquidity before we head higher. So obviously just my opinion, I could be wrong. I do think that the DXY is headed higher. I've said that for months. Really my target is this area back here. Okay, so between 109 and 110, this entire region through here, right? I've said that for months. I think the dollar is headed there. But again, when you look at the daily chart and yesterday's candle and the very shallow retracement we've had so far, right? I think you've got to be careful trading away from areas like this. Okay, I think if you're going to buy the dollar, the area to do it is, on a pullback, preferably to sweep some of that liquidity that's built up right around 106.30. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope it helped. Once again, be sure to grab that additional 25% off the VIP group, guys. Last 24 hours or so to do so. See the link in the description of this video. Trade well this week, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.